Robert, I've always wondered, I've been around the business for a long time, since 2002, and I look at that portfolio that you have, the US.com, UK.com, DE.com, EU.com, on and on and on. Just about anyone in the business would die to just have any one of those. And I've never had an opportunity to ask you, how did you amass that portfolio of not just random two-letter names, but two-letter domains that have such phenomenal meaning and inherent value?
Yeah, we were very fortunate in that, my focus at the time was just to build a global addressing system that would compete with the official addressing system, and I went after the two-letter .coms, and gb.com for the UK, and then cn.com for China, de.com, and fortunately at the time it was 96, 97, so they were quite plentiful over there.
And I assume that at that point in time you still had to buy, were all of them on the aftermarket, or were there any?
They were all purchased on the aftermarket.
Okay.
Yeah, I would track them down. Fortunately, with Network Solutions, you could go on, you could track people down by the whois, and I would pester them.
Now, I'm wondering, too, about values obviously are much different today than back then. You don't have to identify the domains, but can you tell us in a range of what you paid for two-letter domains, maybe what the best or the lowest was, not necessarily the best, and what the highest price you had to pay was?
Yeah, obviously at the time, you got $12,000 for SA.com. But $12,000 was
back then. Was quite a lot. And a lot of people thought you were crazy to spend $12,000.
People used to laugh at me. My friends used to laugh. They didn't understand what a domain name was.
Right.
One of the most expensive I bought was gb.com, which was $35,000.
$35,000
at the time, which is an incredible amount of money.
Now, if these kind of domains don't come on the market very often, if they do, and there's some that you don't have, are you still in the market, or do you pretty much have your collection where you want it?
Yeah, we are in the market. Last year we bought AR.com, but since then there's not been anything that we could associate as a country code.
Now, you said your original idea was to set up this global system. So from the very beginning, your intent was to set up the subdomain system that CentralNIC is today?
Yeah, when the thought originated, I brought my children over to Los Angeles to go see Disney. And as we landed in Los Angeles airport, everywhere was Nevada.com, Las Vegas.com. And we went and hired a house, and while I waited for my children to get up in the morning, I would be watching the TV with a jet lag, and all the adverts were all .com this, .com that. When I got back to the UK, we had nothing. No reference to .com or the internet. So I thought I'd go buy myself a PC and start understanding this internet. When I was at school, it was always said, if it happened in America, 5 years later, it'll happen in the UK. And so that's where the idea came about. And because I couldn't afford to buy lots of .coms or lots of co.UKs, I thought, if I had UK.com or GB.com as it was at the time, I could create as many domains off of that. That's what the idea was, and then obviously I looked around and I had the globe, and I wanted to cover the globe with my offering.
Right.
So that was the vision all those years ago, 96, 97, and people started taking me serious when I actually got US.com in 99.
Right. I noticed, like, when I came into the business, Enom was the first registrar that I used, and they have the CentralNIC domains. A lot of the major ones do. How difficult was it for you to crack that registrar market and get them to offer your subdomains?
I think we've got to thank our CEO and Joe Balania for convincing the Enoms and Network Solutions, Register.coms, to put our offering on their shelf.
Right.
Yeah.
We were chatting the other night, and you had said there's a possibility that you might develop out some of those individual domains. Were you to do that, would that anyway impact the existing subdomains?
No, not at all. In fact, the website of UK.com, US.com, CN.com, we've never done anything with, really. But they deserve to be developed out. And we've come here today to ask people's ideas. And one of the guys I've been speaking to is Michael Costello.
I know him very well, very good friend.
Because he's developed out over the years, PalmSprings.com, Nashville.com. He's given us some great ideas. To develop out UK.com, US.com.
Usually development enhances value rather than being a negative effect. If you had an extremely popular site of any of those, odds are it would increase recognition for the subdomains and probably even improve the situation there.
Yeah, you're probably right.
The last thing I wanted to close with is you kind of created some new TLDs of your own, and now ICANN's going to roll out an unlimited number, the plan is, of their own. And I understand from what you've learned in providing registry services that you may be a player in that space as well, maybe offering back-end services?
Yes, we've done a partnership deal with Network Solutions, with CRS, and what we intend to do with that is run these CCTLDs for other people.
That'll be a very interesting new direction for you. There's always something new around the corner, isn't there?
Yeah, there certainly is.
Robert, that's extremely interesting. I appreciate your time, and I feel like I've learned something special here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.